Was any of that illegal? I want to stick on that point. Okay, so because that's important.
But I didn't see that much interaction between him and the old lady either.
Exactly.
Okay.
You know, it just, and I don't know if that was the intention of the movie to be that tense. And that's what I got from.
I think it was the intention to be that intense, because I'm sitting here going.
That there was no communication.
Right.
So you really can't say he got good customer service, but he got customer service.
How can it be good customer service?
No, she didn't say it was good. She said he got customer. So is there a difference between good customer service,
Yes.
customer service, and bad customer service?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
What's the difference?
The amount of help that you were able to, that you offered to the carrier.
Okay.
Satisfaction.
You can use whatever word. Use your terms. No?
Motor carrier. With, you know, basically with bad customer service, you don't service them at all.
Okay.
You just say, I'm sorry, I can't help you with that, you don't have your documents or whatever, come back when you have them. Customer service is possibly, providing them with their credentials, but not in a real helpful, easy manner, so
Okay.
they don't have a good experience with what you're describing as the services. And then good customer services is basically asking them what they need, how to help them if they don't have all of their paperwork filled out, explain to them what they have to fill out, and maybe even help them do that, and still provide them with their credentials.
Okay.
And basically let them get on their way. And for me, I'm always focused on future compliance, because if I make it easy for them to comply with the law, my future is better.
Yep. I'm gonna take you. I'll get you in just a second.
Good customer service is meeting their needs or whatever, but good customer service is acknowledging them as a person, making eye contact. Not necessarily, you know, you try to be empathetic with the person or whatever, but I think it's making eye contact and acknowledging them as a human being instead of just, you know, looking down, sweating, you know, getting ready to reach for the gun, and he's watching him, but as soon as he looks at him, he looks away. You know, like, I'm not watching you. You know, so there's.
I think good customer service is exceeding expectations.
Okay.
I guess in our
And that
town.
everybody is aware of what is expected.
Okay.
What's needed.
Everybody's aware of what's expected, what's needed. Mari.
The other thing is, like, from the customer side, if I walk in that situation, I would want to come back to the store for comfort. If I would go to another store, like she said, with customer service is, you know, making sure the customer satisfied, making sure they felt like they can help. If I walk away feeling good about this place that I walked into, I'm going to come back. I'm not going to come back to a place where I feel like, well, you know, I'm not going to come back to that type of environment where I feel I have to be followed to school or whatever. Even if he didn't just take my money and there was nothing that he had done, it was how he made me feel.
Okay.
See, and sometimes though, we have to err on the other side, because there are people that come in and they're doing something criminal that we can't necessarily say out loud, and we can't assume it either. So sometimes we have to be that neutral party and not necessarily judgmental with our eyes, but we have to be the neutral party that's polite.
Okay. So you guys just set this up really good. I'm gonna come back to that. No, we'll do it in this order. Okay. So I'm trying to get, because you guys have taken me on a really cool path that I want to follow this path because it's going right to where I want to go. So first of all, how do you determine who and how an individual gets bad customer service, or how do people, I'm not saying necessarily you, but how do people decide who gets bad customer service, who just gets customer service, and who gets good customer service?
Actually, there should be no difference between the criminal that comes to the counter and
I
tries to
agree
get
with you.
something,
I
and then
can't-
there's units in place that handle dealing with the criminal part of it. So
Right.
what our end should be is still the same, that we should still be polite, because we're not law enforcement, so we're not gonna judge it where we are. We're not gonna say, oh, he's a criminal, so we're gonna treat him like crap, and we're gonna make him really uncomfortable, and and we're gonna gossip about it back in the back room, and we're gonna figure it out and be law enforcement on our own.
You
And
are
it's not
absolutely
gonna
correct.
happen like that.
Go ahead.
It is hard though if you're answering the phone and you have that customer screaming at you instantly, you have your guard up almost because you're in defense mode thinking, oh my gosh, what's going on? And then you're trying to help them and it's just escalating to that point where, so I think that's part of it where you can't, it's hard to be in that mindset of, oh, how can I be so friendly? You know, you try and remain friendly
Okay.
and help them and calm them.
What determines if someone gets bad customer service, gets customer service, or good customer service? And I'm using these three categories that you guys have given, right? So, Mari, and then,
Okay, I'm gonna say the individual account.
okay,
Because even though, like, say for example, you have a bum, he's looking really nasty, he smells, you know, and he wants service from you, you're not gonna, some people are not gonna give that individual good customer service because, you know, he's a customer. They're gonna look at him, they're gonna.
so is that in a policy manual?
No, it's not.
No,
The
is
fact
that-
you
is-
could- sometimes you don't think about it. You're thinking about yourself and how you feel about waiting on that individual.
Okay.
That's what it is.
Instincts, and then,
Well, we'll get to that in just a second. Cassandra.
I was gonna say their attitude.
Their attitude, all right? You know how people decide who gets good customer service, who gets customer service, who gets good customer service? They decide.
Yeah.
The individual decides.
Well, I would imagine that, yeah, depending on how much anger, I mean, we're front counter people, a lot of us, how much anger they come in with, you know.
But ultimately, you decide if they're going to get bad customer service, good customer service, or just customer service.
Because things
Right?
can always be diffused or changed.
Oh, I'm sorry, I thought you meant this, the customer decides.
No, the customer doesn't decide. You decide
Okay.
as the service provider, right? That is called discretionary effort. The amount of work that, because I can give, when I sign on to do a job, I sign on the dotted line that at minimum, I will give, and let's use, kind of school terms, right? To pass a class, you have to have a C. A C is what, 70%, 75%? So I say to the employer, I will give you at a minimum 75% of everything that I have to offer you. And they say, okay, I can deal with that. What I would really like as an employer is for someone to give me 100% of who they are. But between 75% and 100%, I can work with that as an employer. That's called discretionary effort. And so I get to decide if I'm going to give them 80% today, or if I'm going to give 75%. But if I give 69%, we have what? We got a problem, right? But as long as I stay within, that 75 degree, I got to watch this thing before it closes. But as long as I do that, we're good, right? My performance appraisals will go across the thing, blah, 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 blah. That's up to me to decide. That's discretionary effort. And all of those things that we saw that young man went through, all the things that, all the stereotyping that each one of those individuals did to each other, we would call those micro inequities. Those are all the small things that add up to a discrimination charge. But before we can get to that illegal stuff, it's all this nitpicky stuff that you go, did that happen? Oh, did I? And all the time, you feel these little chips of yourself being taken away, right? So let me go through these concepts because this is important stuff to talk about as well, right? So bigotry, prejudice, and discrimination. What is bigotry, or what is a bigot? How would you define a bigot?
Is it
Someone who practices a set of behaviors based on a predetermination of someone else.
Okay, so someone who has practices based on a predetermination of someone